Hey guys, this is Derek Duplessis, host of Purpose Rockstar. It's a podcast where we interview people who found purpose in their career in all kinds of fields. Today's interview is with David France, a good friend of mine. He is the top guy, the executive director for Revolution of Hope and the Roxbury Youth Orchestra. He went to the New England Conservatory and he learned about El Sistema, and it was just, love at first sight. He went over to Venezuela, saw the awesome work that was going on, teaching young children classical music. And he said that he could bring this to the inner city in Boston, in Roxbury. And it's just been incredible just to think about his journey, his story from a very small island in the Caribbean to, really making sacrifices to make his dream come true. So this guy would sleep on couches and he would sleep on the concrete here in the city. He would play in the subway, still plays in the subway to this day, just to make his dream come true. So I know you really, really enjoy this interview. I was on the verge of tears while I was conducting it. Now, so far we've been on this rocket ship of hope and change and transformation, but there's gotta be some nadirs, some low points. Take us to one of those on your journey of creating this orchestra. Take us to that low point.
So I graduated from the New England Conservatory in 2012, and the fellowship I was in was fully funded fellowship, and so all through that year, they flew us around the world, paid my rent, my groceries. It was great. So I graduated, and they said, "Here's this great training. Now go and change the world." And I was like, "Yes." And I was invited to perform in Poland the next week. So I got on a plane, was flown to Poland, and did a concert series in Poland. And then after that, basically that trip was over. The conservatory fellowship was over, and I was still in Europe, and I had 3 weeks left in Europe and no money. And so I challenged myself. It was kind of a big dream to see if I could get from Berlin, where the tour ended, to London in 3 weeks with no money. And so what I did was I started playing on the streets around Berlin, and I was able to, and then just random people took me in, and I just really began this crazy journey of this funding my life by playing on the streets of Europe. And so when I came back to Boston and was starting this program, before I left for Poland, I had sublet my apartment, so I had nowhere to live, even in Boston. And so for the next half a year, I was playing in the subway, I was sleeping on couches, concrete, and just really with this vision of really wanting to transform this community through this world-class music program with no finances of my own, and just really depending on the kindness of strangers and friends to give me a place to sleep, but it was really just carried by that vision, and even now that we've started, so we started a year ago, last February, and a couple months before that, we had no money, so I thought, okay, how am I going to start with no money? And so I started an instrument drive called the Instrument Legacy Drive, and we got 28 donated instruments from around the country. And then friends of mine that I had been talking to about teaching, I thought I would be fully funded by the start, and I had no money. And so I said, "Hey, we have no money. Are you still interested in joining me in this vision?" And 4 of them said yes. So there were 5 of us who started teaching every day after school for 3 hours for free, and the teachers were playing in the subway as well. And so So the Dearborn Middle School in Roxbury said, "Hey, we believe in this vision too. We'll give you a space." So I had a space, 28 donated instruments, 5 teachers who were willing to work for free, couches that I was sleeping on, but it was hard, but I was really, like I said, I was really carried by this belief that through sincere and through sincere intentional investment in youth, that there could be a change. And that was the kind of change I was interested in seeing, and that was the kind of change, that was kind of the work I was interested in being a part of. And so again, like I said, when I met Sandra Campos in Venezuela, she moved out of her house with her 5 kids and sold chicken eggs, and so that was my chicken egg experience.
Beautiful.
You know, there's more to that interview. Yeah, more. And you can find all of it at purposerockstar.com. Link is right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. So it's really, really awesome that you can go to purposerockstar.com. If you're one of those on the go Apple people, you can check it out on iTunes. There's the link. And for my non Apple people, I'm going to make sure there's a link on Stitcher somewhere next to me. So you got iTunes, Stitcher, and purposerockstar.com. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're on Twitter and Facebook, and somehow we'll be on LinkedIn. I don't know. But at least we'll be on Twitter and Facebook. And one final favor: pursue your purpose. It needs you.
Not only are they learning these instruments, not only are they taking this opportunity by the horns, but in this space that we've provided for them, they found a community of friends that are also becoming their family, like their best friends.